The Nasdaq 100 pushed on higher this week, looking to finish the year strongly, with the index now up over 52% year to date. The inverse relationship between Treasury yields and the Nasdaq 100 continued, with the 10-year drifting lower, whilst the Nasdaq edged higher on Monday. What's interesting is the Magnificent 7 stocks were all down, despite, as you can see here, the Nasdaq 100 breaching the most recent high on Monday. This volatility, you can see here, was driven by the CPI report, which came in line with expectations at 3.1%. This was still a drop from October's number, where CPI came in at 3.2%. The initial reaction to the report was a jump in yields, and the Nasdaq heading lower before both bonds and equities settled. The key driver with respect to inflation continuing to slow down is oil prices. Crude oil peaked out at the end of September and has been in a downtrend ever since. The main event, however, was the Fed meeting, where the Fed forecasted 3 rate cuts next year, with the Fed saying that they would take multiple factors into account for any more policy tightening. That basically suggests the Fed is done with the rate hike cycle, and you can see yields crashing lower and the Nasdaq 100 spiking higher. Wednesday's move took us above the upside target from the last video, which was 16,440, and price is now forming bullish consolidation. The all-time high sit at 16,769, which we're not too far away from, so that'll be the upside target. On the downside, 16,440 will now act as support. You can see price came back on Thursday to retest this level. This chart here shows the 2-year yield reacting to the Fed announcement. The Fed funds rate and the 2-year yield tend to track closely together, so it's no surprise rate cuts are now forecast, which in the short term is a positive for stocks. But if you look at previous rate cutting cycles, they tend to occur just before a downturn starts. 2007, before the financial crisis, and 2019, right before the COVID pandemic. If the Fed starts cutting rates next year, we're likely heading into a new downturn, which would then begin to hit stocks. But at this moment in time, bullish consolidation is likely paving the way next week for the Nasdaq 100 to make a new all-time high. With that said, thanks for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. Happy holidays to my viewers, and I'll see you in the new year.